Hey, what's up, moviegoers? Welcome to another Wednesday movie review, Cinema Thursdays. And as promised, this Cinema Thursdays video is on the action movie Olympus Has Fallen. What this action movie is about is that this guy, Kang Yun-suk, not sure if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but anyways, who is played by Rick Yoon, is this North Korean extremist who invaded the South Korean leader's detail to get to DC during the talks so he can set off a hostage situation and blow up DC. The reason why? Well, it's explained in the movie as that he's trying to get America to take out their fleet from the Korean Peninsula, so North Korea can have better chances to win the war. The ongoing war between North and South Korea, that is. And thus you have a situation. And there's three main guys for Washington's side who are part of the situation. President Benjamin Asher, who is played by Aaron Eckhart, who, when heard about a plane attacking DC, was moved down to the bunker, and that's where the hostage situation takes place. And while he's there, he's not completely helpless. He tries to save his own people by getting them to do what the extremists want them to do. But he'll give his own life if need to. And meanwhile, you have Speaker Alan Trumbull, played by Morgan Freeman, as acting president. But as acting, since the president is in a hostage crisis and the vice president was killed. And his only set of eyes in the place is Mike Banning, who's played by Gerald Butler. And in the early part of this movie, Mike Banning is shown to have been on the President Astor's bad side due to not being able to save the First Lady during a situation months earlier. But he's the only hope that the president has, basically. And Gerald Butler's character was, really highly trained, because one would have to be if he's going to be on the president's detail. But anyways, and thus, it's the only reason why that he's the only eyes and ears in there, because many of the Washington guys got into the White House, but they didn't stand a chance from the extremist army that invaded DC via the attacking plane. And thus, it's like some sort of Mission Impossible type thing, where it's like one guy against a whole army of guys who have explosives of many types and can access the DC defense system and etc. and use that against them, and have a hostage situation with involving the president. Yeah, Seems like something that Mission Impossible would have thought of. Anyhow, this movie's action is mainly in what Mr. Kang would do, which includes sending out a plane to shoot at a lot of famous places like the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, the White House and stuff, and even crash. I think it was the Washington Monument that it eventually crashes into. And it having a lot of North Korean invaders in it who shoot down the guards at the White House, which was supposed to be impenetrable. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this word, but anyway, so, and, as the third picture shows, shoot down some planes set in by a aerial SEAL team to access the White House via the roof, which causes a big explosion on the left side. So, all those lanes just to secure the president, just he can force them to move their ships out of the Korean peninsula. If you ask me, that's because I'm not madman. But it makes for a very great action movie. So what the hell? So, basically, it's like race against the clock because of members of the president's team that's with him in the bunker are getting killed every certain amount of time that passes that they don't take out of their blockade. And the president being the last one to go. And also tried to save the U.S., which is also under threat of being blown up by their own system called Olympus, which shoots down missiles and stuff, but if there's none, they'll just detonate and cause basically a lot of rubble all over the continent. And then upon all the three other things I mentioned already, yeah, it's like U.S. is basically, all of the U.S. is basically in that stake. But it's a very great action movie. And personally, I really enjoyed it. One thing that I didn't really have a slide for, but is one of the big things that was talked about when it comes to this movie is that this other studios is doing a movie exactly like it with some different actors. White House Down. I'm not sure whether that's going to be good because it's not out yet, but I plan to see it, and maybe when doing a review on it, maybe have a little comparison. If they both aren't equally timed for a great action movie. But on a scale, 1 star being poor and 5 stars being excellent, I'd have to give this Beast action movie a solid 5 stars. That's all the time we have for this week, moviegoers. Try to be able to get a review on The Raven for Classic Tuesdays, and the second part of the MTV Movie Awards for next News Wednesdays, and hopefully a review on Scary Movie 5 for next Cinema Thursdays next week. Until then, have a great afternoon, a great weekend, and this is Win3 signing off. Bye.